Hi, it's Damien, and as some of you know, I've had an electric car for a little over a year now, about a year and a half. I want to share some of my experiences with the car. You know, there's a lot of perceptions about electric cars, and there's definitely pros and cons to it, but I think it would be easier to show you than it is to tell you about some of the features and just what it's like doing some of the regular everyday things that you would do with any car, and how you have to make adjustments, and how it might be easier and or harder driving an electric car. So I've got a Volkswagen ID.4, and it's got about 17,000 miles on it. So today I just wanted to take you along for how just kind of a regular ride during the day is. I think the big question is, range, and, where do I charge it? A lot of people just kind of have anxiety about, running out of charge and getting stuck, and, how convenient or inconvenient it is. I'll take you along. I'm going into DC today. I live about 30 miles from DC. So kind of just see how it is. We'll try to find some stations, kind of see how much charge it uses while you're driving in different situations. And take you along for the ride, see how you think about it, and see if it gives you an idea of whether it's something you might want to do in the future. And so I have about 82 miles now. I've driven from Southern Maryland into DC, and actually, I don't feel nervous about having to charge up right now, because it's only about 35 miles back home. So I could get away with waiting to get back to my normal charging station, but that's closer to home. But we'll definitely check out and see what's what's in DC, and how easy it is to get a charge. And so got a little unexpected stop. Looks like there's some sort of emergency going on. So see, I'm at about 78 miles. So but I'm stuck, but not losing a lot of range. So now I'm about to go and try to find a charging station. It's about 4:45 on a Saturday, and I've got about 70 miles of range left. And I usually don't charge in DC, so I don't know exactly where everything is. I think I might have charged here one time. I am in Northwest near U Street, near Ben's Chili Bowl. So if you're ever down U Street, make sure you stop by Ben's and get something to eat. But I'm going to use the navigation system to see if it will pick up any nearby charging stations for me. So with Volkswagen, I do like the car. One of the things I think is a little buggy about it is the interface, like the software system. I think it could use an upgrade. It's a little buggy. Sometimes it's slow, and I really don't like how the navigation system works that much in terms of how you use it. But Volkswagen has put an update out. So I think you have to bring the car in, so they're doing it in phases. So at some point they're sending the owners a notice when it's time to bring their car in, and they're updating the software, and I think they're updating the battery for everybody. So I think at some point the software should get better. But let me see, I'm going to search for nearby charging stations. And so with this car, you can just put in charging stations and it should come up. Yeah, I think I saw it. Yeah, charging stations in the vicinity. Ticks on it. And it's thinking about it. And there you go. And I have three different charging, I guess, plans or whatever, that I can go to. Most of the charging stations, one thing I don't like about EV charging stations is so far that I've seen them, it doesn't seem like you can just go up and be, if you're not like signed up with that plan where you can just like put your credit card in like you go to a gas station and just use a charger. So you have to go to a charger that you're signed up with. And so usually, it's not like it's a subscription or anything, but you do have to have like, just register with the company. So I'm with three. I'm with EVgo, ChargePoint, and Electrify America, because Electrify America comes with Volkswagen. And when you buy like a Volkswagen, you get 3 years free if you go to an Electrify America, which is nice. Just unfortunately for me where I live, there's none that are really close. The closest one is about 25 miles away, like a 40-minute drive. So if I happen to be in that area, it's good. But I usually use EVgo because that's the one that's, about 10 minutes away from where I live. But I'll go here and I see a ChargePoint one. Looks like it's the closest one. I'm on I'm not too far from U Street, so this one's on 1441 U Street. So it's a 2-minute drive. So we'll go there. I'll see how it is, and I'll check back with you in a second. So what I forgot to realize when I chose the charge point from the nearest locator, that the charge point stations, they tend to be like the slow chargers. So they're the kind that you might only get a couple miles of range, like maybe 10 miles for in an hour when you're charging. And this one too, the close one was in a building. It was like I think in an apartment building, so I couldn't even access that one. So when I'm on the road like this and it's not really an emergency, I should put in the Electrify America ones, because they tend to be the faster chargers, and you can tell by the watt hours. So they'll usually have the watt hours there, and that has 150 kilowatts per hour, so that means it could charge up fully in like 30 minutes or so, 40 minutes. If it's like a 7 kilowatt or something like that, 20 kilowatt, it's just going to take a little bit longer. So that's good, just to kind of get you, a couple miles of range. So that's one thing you do have to think about. So we did make it to the Electrify America station. They're usually located like in Walmarts. Guess they got some type of agreement there, but the ones I've seen are usually near a Walmart. This one is in the basement garage of a Walmart on Georgia Avenue. So looks like one is free, but let's go check. That's another one of the things when you get to a charging station, you gotta hope there's enough. There's usually between 2 to 4. A lot of charging stations. Sometimes I've gone to some, I've seen as many as 10. Just all depends. And then obviously you hope that they're working, and one is free. So let's go check out, see if we got a free one here. So I'm just about finishing up this session charging. I'm at about 92%. I usually go to 80. Because I don't really need to have it 100% full, and that's kind of the recommendation. They say you should keep it at about 80, but because I'm out a little further from home, I'm just going to go ahead and go close to 100, probably like 95, and that way I don't have to do it again for a while. And plus I got about a 40-mile ride back home. So I was able to get into the station. Had a little bit of a hiccup trying to connect the charge. Talk about that in a minute. But yeah, overall wasn't too easy to find going from Southern Maryland to Northwest DC and back. So I did experience an issue when I was at the charging station, and the pump wouldn't read my phone. So usually the EV chargers, they might have a, kind of like a phone reader, like you do with, you tap your credit card. So you can tap your phone, or some give you a card. So with Electrify America, it's usually just tap your phone. So I did it at the station, and it initially wouldn't read my phone. So I had to call the number. There's usually a customer service number on the machine, and they were able to start charging me remotely. So it slowed it down, didn't stop me from doing it, but you might occasionally, experience issues at charging stations. Sometimes the charger might not work. Sometimes, again, of course, somebody might be in there and you gotta wait. So I would say, that's kind of right now the downside of electric cars is, even if you find a charger, you obviously, gotta wait probably 30 minutes, an hour, whatever, while your car is charging, as opposed to just filling up the gas that you can do really quickly. But of course, technology is changing and evolving, but that's kind of where we are right now. So I hope this video gave you a good overview of what it's like driving an electric car in a regular, ordinary, everyday commuting experience. I like driving an electric car. I personally still have a gas car and will probably drive it until the wheels come off. But I think any future cars that we might get probably would be electric. Gas obviously causes a lot of problems with the environment, so trying to use as less as possible when it's feasible and cost effective. We'll do that. And two, the cost of gas is high, so it's nice not having to buy gas. So until gas prices get to be something like this, I think the electric cars, the prices are starting to come down, and there's becoming a lot more options, especially this year, at different price ranges, and with the tax credit. I think it's, something, that I personally, want to stick with. And it's really not that different, the everyday experience between a gas and an electric car. And the range on my particular car, in like the spring and summertime, if you charge it to 100%, it's about 325 miles. Now, if you turn on the air conditioner and stuff for the heat, it will go down a little bit, so usually lose about maybe 30 miles. So, you might see it go from, if it's, 100% and it's 325 miles and you turn on the air conditioning, you might see it go down to, 290 or something like that. So you're going to lose some. And in the winter, you're going to get less on 100% on the battery. So in the wintertime, if I charge 200, it might get around 260, full. Still, I think pretty good, I don't drive usually more than 40 or 50 miles a day. And again, I don't drive the electric car every day. Sometimes I do drive the gas car. But I think it's still, really good compared to gas. And I don't have a charger at home. I plug it into a regular wall outlet. And if I do that, it gets about 20 miles overnight, in about by the time if I put it on at, 8, 9 o'clock at night, by the time I'll get up in the morning, it's got another, 20, 30 miles. So it's not a lot, but, it's usually enough just, kind of like, as a stopgap. And my electric bill has not gone up very much, maybe 10, 15 bucks a month. And the maintenance is less, there's no oil changes, no fluid changes, things like that. So, the upkeep so far has been very basic. I haven't had any mechanical problems with the car. It's always run, it's always started, so I have not had any issues. So that's it for now. I will definitely provide an update and do another video on what it's like to drive a longer range.